Welcome to the University of North Georgia Political Science International Affairs Department's YouTube channel, where we present interviews of our students, past, present, and future, to highlight their accomplishments and insights. In the coming minutes, you'll get to meet Laine Hunt. In early April of this year, Laine received the news of her selection to receive a grant from the Boren Institution. First off, congratulations, Laine, on receiving this prestigious award.
Thank you.
Before we get into the details about the award itself, let's meet Laine. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Laine Hunt. I am a senior here at the University of North Georgia. I'm from Macon, Georgia, and I am an international affairs major with a concentration in the Middle East.
All right, Laine, what brought you to UNG in the first place?
When I was first looking for colleges, I realized that I wanted a more community-based school. I didn't want something where I would get lost or feel too small. And so when I came and visited North Georgia, I fell in love. I'd always loved the mountains as well, and just being outside and the nature. And so when I came here, I immediately knew that this was where I wanted to go.
Okay, well, you've made your home here the last couple of years in the Political Science and International Affairs Department. Why that department, and more specifically, why International Affairs?
Well, I realized that I wanted to have a job where I could serve a wide range of people and be able to travel as well. And so when I was researching the kinds of majors that would allow me to do that, I stumbled onto international affairs, and I realized that it would be the best course of action for me. And I decided that I wanted to work in government. And when I started taking the international affairs classes, I just fell in love with the ideas of discovering why different cultures act the way they do, why different countries govern the way they do, how different people and different leaders and different cultures and countries interact and decide to create the world around us.
Oh, that's awesome. Why, you mentioned earlier Middle Eastern concentration. So why specifically that? The entire globe to pick from, what caused you to focus to that section of the world?
Partially it was for my marketability purposes. I believe that the government sees the Middle East mostly as a security threat for most of its existence, or the U.S.'s existence. And so I felt like that would help me stand out, having studied that region, as well as the fact that as someone that lives in a small town in the north of Georgia, I had very little understanding of what the Middle East would be like and what it was actually like. And so I wanted to study it and become more familiar with that kind of thing that I had actually never had much experience with.
Okay, thank you. Well, let's turn now to the Boren Scholarship itself that you've picked up. What can you tell us about the purpose of the scholarship, a little bit about the foundation or the institution as you know it?
So the Boren Scholarship is a scholarship for students that are pursuing rare language, trying to learn rare languages, critical to the security of the U.S. government, such as Russian, Mandarin, and Arabic. And so they fund, unless you're a STEM major, they fund a semester or an academic year-long study abroad for you in your concentration, wherever you want to go. And you study that language, and in order to repay the scholarship, you sign an agreement to work for the U.S. government for a year following your graduation. And if you need to push it back for grad school, they allow you to go to grad school, but eventually at some point you have to spend a year working for a national security institute.
Okay, is that a guaranteed job then?
Almost guaranteed. It
Okay.
looks much better. You do have to put yourself out there. You do have to kind of go onto the job boards and find something, but for you to have the Boren Scholarship, it makes it a lot more accessible than if you didn't.
Oh, awesome. Well, what made you seek out a study abroad experience in the first place? Why do that? Why not just stay here in Dahlonega?
Well, for one, it's required for me as an international affairs major. I do have to go abroad in my concentration and, experience that. But also, I felt like the best way for me to become an asset to the job arena that I wanted to. I needed to have more experience in different cultures and assimilating in different places. And so when I was applying for the scholarship, I decided that I wanted to go to Oman. Oman seemed like the best option. It seemed to stand out, and it was something for me that just felt right as a more, I don't know, it's a little bit different than other Middle Eastern countries, and I felt like that would make me stand out when the people looking over the scholarship saw that that was where I wanted to go to study.
Okay. So what specifically will you be studying?
I will be studying Arabic.
How is your Arabic currently?
Shwaya. I can speak a little bit,
Okay.
but I'm really hoping to learn more, and I felt like it would greatly, that's all I've heard. It's very difficult to study a language when you're surrounded by people that don't speak that language. You don't really have people you can just go and conversate with in that language, and so I felt like submersing myself in that would make it so much easier, but also it would stick.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, Laine, well, thank you. In closing, what do you have to say to our viewers, especially those who are either prospective or even former students of either UNG or more specifically the Political Science International Affairs Department?
I would say that if you want a job that allows you to see the world for what it is and to study it and to get outside of your own viewpoint and your own experiences in life and to experience something and to look into other cultures and other worlds, that international affairs and political science are for you, and that it is an amazing thing to study and to continue to learn about the way that the world works outside of just the small or big towns that you grew up in.
Well, that just sounds well and good. We appreciate your time, Laine. Thanks again, and congratulations again, and all the best in your upcoming adventure. And we look forward to, if I can, put a reservation in to talk with you again upon your return from Oman here in a bunch of months.
Yep.
And we'll talk and see how you experience and what you got, if what you did on the front end here matches with what you actually experienced while you were there.
Of course.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you, and again, congratulations.
Thank you.